What's up, you guys? This is V Martin, and today we're going to be doing the Philadelphia Eagles today. Should be a fun one. Okay, so the goal is obviously to win a Super Bowl. If anybody's seen the past couple of videos, we've been able to do that in every video. Hopefully we can keep it up today. And these aren't updated rosters, this is what I'm working with for now. I'm just going to use what's available to me right now. Obviously they picked up AJ Brown. They drafted some really good rookies as well, but we're just going to go based off what they have right now, and I'll see what I can do to make them a better team and hopefully get a Super Bowl this year. And obviously the goal is a three-peat. We have 3 seasons to make it to the Super Bowl and win a Lombardi. That's the goal. So far what I'm seeing right now, another receiver would be really good. Their line is decent. I'm happy with it. I can't complain about that. And Jalen Hurts. As of right now, we're going to rock with him the first season, depending on how well he does in the system. And if anything, we can draft one or attempt to get one in free agency, depending on which comes first. Defense, another corner, another right end, and some new linebackers, obviously. And some safeties. So if I can find anybody in free agency to better the team right now, I'll probably skip to that, or I'll just show you who I picked up, and I'll maybe attempt to trade, but I'm probably just gonna rock with who we have right now. So if for some reason if we don't have a great season, I can have a higher draft pick. So we're gonna cut to me adding anybody if I find anybody. If not, you'll see me skipping to the mid-season point. So the only player I picked up in free agency right now is Antonio Brown. He's a good stopgap receiver for now. Gives us a little more depth behind everybody else for the most part. So we're gonna rock with Antonio Brown, Smith, Sanders, Jalen Hurts. Our line, I'm really comfortable with that. Dallas Goddard. And we're just going to rock with the defense just the way it is. And in the offseason, we'll make a lot of adjustments, see where we can go, and hopefully we can find some diamonds in the rough in the draft as well. So we'll be skipping to the mid-season point right about now. Okay. And at the mid-season point right now, we are currently 1-6, which isn't the best. But at the end of the day, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, this gives us the best chance to rebuild in the draft or use the draft capital we have to better the team in whatever direction we have to go. Right now, obviously, the quarterback is our biggest this is the biggest flaw right now. Jalen Hurts isn't where he needs to be. Hopefully, he can develop into a great quarterback by the end of the year. If he doesn't, we'll just move on. And the goal of these rebuilds is to win a Super Bowl at the end of the day. I'll do realistic ones and different goals later on as my channel grows and develops. But for the most part, the goal of these videos is to, whatever team I have currently, is to win a Super Bowl and to make them a dynasty for the most part. And if I have to trade the whole lot, I will. At the end of the day, as long as I have the money and capital to do it, I will. If I can build off the team and grow them within the 3 years that I have them for, I'll happily do that as well. But for the most part, the goal right now is to use what I have and make them better. So whoever's watching up to this point, please like, subscribe. There's a little bell notification in the top right corner. Please turn that on for me. It lets you know whenever my videos do come out. It is really appreciated. So at the midseason point, Hurts isn't where we thought he was, and I kind of knew that, which is completely fine. So for the most part, he's thrown 11 touchdowns, 10 picks at the midseason point, rushing attack. Sanders is doing okay. He could do better, but at the end of the day, I really see him progressing. Antonio Brown is leading the team, as I thought. No touchdowns, though. And then Quez Watkins, second leading receiver, with Devontae Smith as our third in the slot, but he is leading our team with 5 touchdowns. Alex Singleton is leading the team in tackles. That's not what we want. But at the end of the day, like I said, I kind of expected it with the team that we have. But we'll do whatever we can to make it better. So with what we have, I'm not gonna make any adjustments. Hopefully, we just stay in the bottom end of the draft, and we'll go on from there. So I'll see you guys at the start of the off season. So here we are at the off season point. We finished the year 8-9. So at the end of the year, we ran it up. Not what I wanted, but it's a good sign. So we'll see how we did schedule wise. So like we were saying, or like we saw. Ooh, wrong one. So where we were at the midseason point, we were actually right here actually. So we were 1-6 at the midpoint, and at after the midpoint, we actually ran it up, which is pretty good for the most part. That's a good sign for me. But with that being said, we'll just see how the stats were and how we compare to other teams in the league. So our offense was 25th, which isn't a good sign whatsoever. But our defense is not even ranked, so that's all right. That's completely fine. So Jalen Hurts did have a little bounce back. 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns, 18 picks. Wish we could have decreased those interceptions. That's completely fine. He did way better in the second half of the season. Miles Sanders ended the season with 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. That's what I'd like to see. Devontae Smith did come back and ended up leading our team with receptions, yards, and he came in second with touchdowns. But Antonio Brown came off of free agency, off with free agency with us, and almost had 1,000 touchdowns, 1,000 He almost had 1,000 yards with us. My apologies. 5 touchdowns. Quez Watkins almost 1,000 as well. Led the team with 11 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert had 700 yards with 6 touchdowns. Alex Singleton once again led the team with 129 total tackles. Josh Sweat had 8 sacks, led the team. And TJ Edwards led the team with 4 picks. So, even with that being said, we'll see. I'm going to upgrade the players. We're at a 78 overall right now. Let's see how much we go up, just simply upgrading everyone right now. And we're in 81. So let's check out the roster really quickly, or let's go into the re-signing period first. I'll see who I need to resign or who I want to let walk, just simply based off our cap room and what we have. So we, like I said, we went with the auto-generated class. Keeps it more interesting. I don't know who to pick for the most part. And player negotiations. So honestly, the only person I would honestly want to bring back at the moment is Antonio Brown took a giant dip. I might bring him back on a 1-year deal just for some depth. But for the most part, Jason Kelsey's the only one I would want to bring back on a 1-year contract. I'd give him the money. He doesn't want that, so maybe I can swing him by in free agency. The only other person I would try to want to get is Antonio Brown, but not for that much. I wouldn't give him that much. I don't see him re-signing here, but it's completely fine. We'll attempt to get them back in free agency. So solely based off how the season went, and with all the upgrades we did, we can check out the team right now. So Antonio Brown is leaving. So without him, Quez Watkins, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts is still a bronze. He did not develop into a star, which honestly hurts a lot for me. If he developed into a star, I honestly probably would have kept him. But for the most part, since he still is on his rookie deal, I can probably trade him for a veteran quarterback. Devontae Smith is a star, 82 overall. Dallas Goddard with 86. And at the end of the day, our line is still really good. I don't have any complaints about that. It's our defense. So in the draft, free agency, we're going to go after just defensive backs. That's what we need at the end of the day. Strong safety, free safety, and a couple corners. Maddox is pretty good. I probably can just keep him in the slot. So just a number 2 corner behind Darius Slay that can just really shut down their sides of the field. A left end would be my number one bet. Just ends on both sides. If I can just find someone who can just really hold down the fort. Edwards turned into a star. He's only 26, so I honestly might keep him. Singleton is already up there. If he was younger, I honestly would have kept him just simply based on how well he did for us. But linebackers and defensive backs and ends is what I'm going to truly try to go for. And then a quarterback and another receiver. So those are the pieces that I'm going to try to get so we can advance to the first stage of free agency and have an idea of what we need to get. So our number one competition in our division is the Cowboys, obviously. They were undefeated at the midway point, and they finished the season 13-4. Obviously, they didn't win the Super Bowl, so I'm still happy with that. So we have $58 million right now in cap room. So I just have to decide on what I want to spend the money on. Obviously, don't want to go too crazy. Quarterback is fine at the end of the day. I'll keep Jalen Hurts. Depending on what I have. Depending on what I see in the draft, I might move up to draft a young quarterback. If not, maybe I can make a move and draft a veteran and kind of go off of that. Running backs, I'm fine with Sanders, honestly. So right now, the only people I'm looking at the moment are honestly Christian Kirk and Gallup. I would try to squeeze Kirk on a short year, like a little small, maybe 4 years. I'm not gonna give him. It's crazy what he got in the offseason. I think he's averaging 18 mil a year now. Yeah, he's not getting that with us. But maybe I can squeeze him in. Maybe I'll get lucky if no one offers him money on a 4-year, $37 million deal. Maybe I'll get lucky with that. Gronk is a good option if I was running 2 tight end sets, but I'm really not. Zach Ertz, OG Eagle, love to bring him back, but at the end of the day, he's up there in age. And we have Dallas Goddard, who's going to run the show for now. I don't need to spend money on the line right now. I'm actually really comfortable with that besides Jason Kelsey. I'll give him the money if he's willing to come back, but he's not. He wants more, which I will at the end of the day. I'm only doing this for a couple years. The goal is to get the best players who can work together to obviously win me a Super Bowl. We're good right there. Any ends? There's no one here that really blows me away. Keanu Neal is a good fit for the most part. Van Der Esch, I can move him to the outside if no one really wants him. He doesn't want that much money. I could throw in a 3-year deal. Slightly lower. He wants slightly more money. That's completely fine. I honestly just need more depth at that position, especially what we were running with last year. So anything will be better. Okay, just like that, we're number 1. Hopefully we can snag him up. And a right outside linebacker. Right outside linebacker. Honestly, just send Quan Alexander. It's a little 1-year deal. Corners. I would pay a premium for a corner actually at the moment. If I can get Hayward on a 1-year deal, that'd be great. And if I can get Carlton Davis as well, that'd be a great fit for me. He's a super young corner, really tall, super physical. Won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. So, Devin McCourty is really tempting. I just don't have the money anymore. Unless I make a multi-year deal. Okay, so let's see who else we can maybe get. And then I can slowly kind of go off of that. So who did I offer my signing? Yeah, I need to offer more money to Carlton Davis for me to even attempt to get him. So with that being said, I'm just going to withdraw the offer. Now I have the money left over to go after a safety. Devin McCourty is really tempting, but if I can get Marcus Williams as well, that'd be great. I'm tempted to get Marcus Williams just because I know he'll progress into just a better safety compared to McCourty. He'll be great as well, but he just won't give me what I need at the moment. I'm going to go after Kareem Jackson. I don't have the money. That's fine. So I'll just adjust the money with... I'll just go after Marcus Williams and I'll offer more money, slightly more money to hopefully snag him. Super young free safety. And okay, so I'm number 1 now. And I'll just probably draft some young defensive backs, some linebackers, and hopefully I can just get somebody who can help the team right away. So after the first round, we have... So let's see who we're going to get, hopefully. So after the first week of free agency, or after the first day of free agency, we were able to get Williams, Hayward, Quan Alexander, Van Der Esch. Kelsey rejected, which sucks at the end of the day. It really does. But it gives me more money to get some depth at the safety position. I just wanted to see who are the top prospects of the draft. Gives me an idea. But let's see what I can do with the $14 million currently with who's on the board. So Javon Curse is tempting, but he is older, so he's gonna digress right away. So I'm tempted to just go after Kareem. Gives me a stopgap year, good depth, teach the young guys how to play better, and he'll be able to fill in the position right away. Excuse me if you heard me burp, by the way. So I'm cool with Maddox as my slot corner at the moment. So I'm happy with that. I could attempt to get McCourty, but he just doesn't want that much. I can just throw a low ball offer, and if I am able to get him, I can move him to strong safety, which I really wouldn't mind doing, honestly, with what we have at the moment. our linebackers aren't the best, but I am gonna move Van Der Esch to the edge, to left outside linebacker, and I'm happy with what we have right now currently. So I'll simulate to the draft right now, and we'll see who I pick up. So we just started the draft. We currently have the number 6, 13th, and 26th pick in the first round of the NFL draft, and honestly, that looks great. So I'm just looking at any of the quarterbacks right now that I might be willing to trade up with to grab them. So there's a couple that caught my eye. So Daniel Doyle is one of them. There's a couple quarterbacks that are projected to go in the top 5, but there's also a couple that might slip through the cracks. So Daniel Doyle was one. Greg Childress, quick to take the check down, beautiful spiral on passes, calm but aware of defenders while in the pocket, knows when to throw the ball away, fast motion that emphasizes a high release. He's tempting. His talent is only second and third round, but he is still projected to go there. We have John Welch, quick to take the check down, beautiful spiral as well. Same thing, quick to throw at a slight pressure. Lightning quick release, almost ignores lower half. I do like that, and he has an A in throw deep accuracy, which I really like. So just looking at what is on the board currently, I looked over some of the scouting reports with the top picks in the draft, and after thinking it over, I'm not gonna go after any of the top quarterbacks. The quarterback I'm really interested in taking though is Kenny Parker from Texas Tech. His key ratings are what really drew me to him. He's an A in throw accuracy deep, an A in accuracy middle and short. So, and with his with his physicals, he's an elite throw power, elite strength, and that's honestly what just got me, honestly. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So hopefully I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there. I hope. So we'll just go one pick at a time. Depending on how many quarterbacks are taken by the time I'm there, I might go up and get him. So with the first pick in the draft, the Lions take Daniel Doyle. Not surprised. They needed somebody to replace them. Okay, so that's 2 quarterbacks. If there's another quarterback taken, I might have to move up. Charles Walls, the guy I was kind of interested in taking. So advance to the next pick. Okay, so Chargers. They're not gonna get a quarterback. They already have one. So I don't see them taking a quarterback at all. So I'm pretty confident that I'll be there. Okay, so with my pick, we do need a quarterback at the end of the day. Jalen Hurts isn't gonna do it. I can use him as bait to get a better player somewhere else with the draft pick and kind of see what I can do with that. So let me just check on John Ridley really quick. No, at the end of the day, I'm gonna go with Kerry Parker. At the end of the day, I just really love what he brings to the table, and hopefully he can start right away. And he's hidden development. That's great. He's 6'6", 226. Rocket for an arm at 94 throw power. He's decent, decent speed on him. He got some wheels, 77 speed with 85 acceleration. So I think we got the steal of the draft, honestly, just based off what I saw and his physicals. It was an easy pick for me, honestly. So we'll just skip to the 13th pick. If I don't find anybody, I might use it to trade for somebody else, or I might use it for a future pick in next year's draft. Linebacker is a need, but because I don't want to feel tempted just to like take somebody just because like it's there, when I could just use it to get somebody who could play right away. Because I'm fine with the ends that we have. They're not the best, but they'll do great for what I need them to do. So simply based on like who's here and what I've been reading, I'm probably gonna trade for somebody. If not, I'll trade into next year's draft. So depending on what I do, we'll skip to that. So right now, currently the player I'm trying to get is Adrian Amos. He's a great safety. He is up there in age at like 29 years old, 30 years old, but for the rebuilds that I'm doing, he's gonna do great. He's not gonna cost me an arm and a leg. I'll still have room to work with. And the Packers do need a quarterback. I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers usually tends to retire after the first season for me, so I'm assuming he retired. And I have Jalen Hurts. Throw in Kareem Jackson, who I just signed, so I can free up more cap space. So maybe they'll take this. If they do, it'd be great without me giving up first. And just like that, I was able to get Adrian Amos for Jalen Hurts and Kareem Jackson. Like I was telling everybody, since I did draft a quarterback that I feel comfortable with, Hurts didn't develop into a star. He stayed as a bronze, which is completely fine. But I knew having him there wasn't going to do anything for me, so being able to trade him as a 76 overall with a 35-year-old safety who I just got in free agency for a 90 overall safety who's going to do wonders for me for the next 2 years, that's a no-brainer, honestly. So if I find anything else, we'll go to that as well. Okay, another trade we ended up going with was Logan Wilson. He's a young right outside linebacker, somebody I need to, find to fill in the hole. We did sign Quan Alexander, but he wasn't going to cut it. He is up there in age, and obviously being able to trade him and Jalen Reagor, who didn't do anything, being picked out of TCU, is a no-brainer for me. We have Quez Watkins, who's completely fine as my second receiver for now, and we were only able to give up a second-round pick, and I still currently hold my 16th and 24th pick, if I believe, so I can still go out there and find a better receiver or more depth somewhere. And I think this is a great pickup for me. He's going to do what I need to do, and he's a superstar, so he'll develop really well for the next years to come while I still have him. So if I find anybody else, like I said, we'll go back to me hopefully finding a better player. So the last player I'm going to try to get is Brian Burns. He's a great young left end from the Panthers, and I'm honestly willing to give up my 13th overall pick if they're willing to take it for simply someone who's going to be able to help right away. There's an instant impact. He's a superstar, and he's only going to get better as the years to come compared to maybe me getting a player that can maybe develop into a player that Brian Burns is, but it's going to take a couple years to get there, instead of me just getting a quick impact player who can help me win right away. And with the players that I already picked up in free agency and who I was able to trade for, I feel like he's one of the missing pieces I need for us to win right away. So hopefully they're able to take this pick, and if anything, I'm willing to throw in like at least a third into next year's draft. And just like that, I didn't have to give him much. Brandon Graham for Brian Burns straight up with my 13th overall pick. I'm totally fine with that, just based off what he is as a player. He is going to want to get paid, but I'm willing to pay him that. He's a great young end, and I'm super excited for that. So we'll just simulate to my last pick in the first round, and maybe I can find a receiver. I feel like a receiver can really give us what we need to kind of push us over the top. If anything, I'm super okay with me once again trading for somebody who can help me right away, because I can always try to find the next great wide receiver, but doesn't mean I'm going to find them. So right now, currently, just simply based on what I'm seeing. Sidney Hayward and Braden Peterson are the ones I'm interested in going after at the moment. I'm gonna read a couple more scouting reports, and depending on what I see, I'll come back to you guys deciding what I want to pick. If not, once again, I'm totally fine with going after somebody who can help me right away. So we'll see what I find out right now. Okay, so instead of finding anybody in the draft, I'm gonna attempt to use my last pick in the first round with Whiteside in a fifth to hopefully get Pittman, young receiver, big tall receiver who can really mesh well with Devontae Smith. So hopefully this goes through, and it does. So I think that's a good trade at the end of the day. Like I was saying, finding good depth, finding young talent that can help right away while they're still on the rookie deals helps me a lot. Gives me more money to use on the off season going into the next couple of years, depending on how well we do. So we can check out the moves that I made and kind of determine if I want to even attempt to make any more trades. So let's check out our new lineup now. Obviously, the quarterback's going to be missing because we'll see that in a second. But for the most part, with all the trades that I made, we have Pittman now with Devontae Smith. We have Miles Sanders. Our line is still really great for the most part. We could use the left guard, but Dickerson is really young. He was a rookie out of Alabama. And we're going to just rock with what we have right now. So, we need a center, by the way. So, hopefully the computer can draft one for me for the most part. And this is our defense. Way better than it was last season. And I'm really comfortable with the pickups that we had. With Hayward in the offseason, Amos in the trade. We picked up Williams as well. We got Wilson, and we picked up Van Der Esch. And the second to last trade was Brian Burns. Super comfortable with that. I'm fine with giving him the money. He's a difference maker who's only going to get better. And we're going to rock with this team for the most part. Way better than what we were. And I really feel like we can compete in our division now and really push for the playoffs. So we'll just simulate to the end of the draft. Hopefully the CPU picks up pieces that we need and kind of fills in the gap. If not, I can go into free agency and pick up any veterans on the minimum, and we can go off of that. So we can check out the recap of the draft. And the rookie quarterback that we got is a 76 overall. And he's hidden development, so that should be fun within the midseason to see where he's at. Hopefully he's better than a star. And the best player in the draft was actually a linebacker, though. J.J. Winters, the one I was tempted to take. But our quarterback still, at the end of the day, lines up really well to where the other draft picks were. Stephen Walls was another one I was tempted to get. But my quarterback, Kerry Parker, was still the best quarterback taken in the draft, which I'm really happy with. I think by like a wide margin in a sense. The John Welch was the other one. Let's see if he's even he's actually normal development. So I'm happy with the pick that I end up getting. So we will simulate into the next week, into the preseason. We will go into our lineup and see what pieces we need. See if there's any moves I can make before the start of the actual season. There it is. Okay, so Parker's our new starting quarterback. I'm really comfortable with our receivers now, with Watkins as our slot. We need a burner there, so that helps a lot. We did pick up a rookie, Hill, but I'll probably go into free agency just to pick up some veteran presence. And this defense is 1,000 times better than it was. I really believe this can kind of anchor our team, hopefully into the playoffs and hopefully us winning the division. So let's see if I can find anybody really quickly in free agency that kind of slipped through the cracks. So AJ Boy is I'm kind of tempted to get him for some extra depth. But for the most part, center is the main position. And there's nothing. Is there anything else where I can kind of like shift over a guard? I think I'm going to go with good and just kind of shift him over to center, which I'm totally fine with. So that kind of fills in the gap that we need. And simply based off the board, there's no one really else that I'm interested in getting for the most part. So with that being said, I'll make that small adjustment and I'll see you guys at the midseason point. So at the midseason point, we are 2-4. It isn't the best record. I thought we were going to be way better than this, but the only good thing about that is that the whole division in general is doing really bad. So we're only a game out from first place in the division. The Cowboys last year were undefeated, or now 2-5, which is a good sign for me. So there's still a really good chance that we can make it into the playoffs. Last year we were 1-6, and at the end of the year we finished 8-9. So we had a really good run going into the end of the season. Hopefully we can carry the momentum and do that again. And we can check out our stats to see how we're doing compared to everyone in the league. Our offense is actually the worst in the league right now, which is not very good. Our defense is the fifth best, which is what I expected with all the pieces and moves that I made. So Kerry Parker isn't doing so bad, but he's not doing enough for him to carry the team, which is, fine. Even if he can't turn into something better, hopefully he's almost there. So hopefully by the end of the season we'll find out what development trait he has. Sanders is doing really slow, but they usually always tend to pick up towards the end of the season. Pittman's leading the team in yards, receptions. Logan Smith is leading the team in tackles. We're getting to the quarterback for the most part. Brian Burns has 5. Fletcher Cox is having a better season than he did last year. He has 5.5 sacks now compared to the 4 that he had last year. Picks, Casey Hayward has 2. Adrian Amos has 2 as well. TJ Edwards has 2. Logan Wilson and Joseph Scott. Good to hear. Good to see. So there's not really much we can do for the most part. Simply just rock with what we have, and hopefully we just get better as the season goes on. We can see who we kind of have to re-sign towards going into next season. Adrian Amos was on a 1-year deal, which is kind of sucks. But we have plenty of money to re-sign him. And I don't mind giving him the money that he wants, especially for a safety that does what he does. So we were able to get Adrian Amos. A good portion of our money is going to go to Brian Burns, but he's a super young talent. I'm willing to give him the money for an 89 overall who's only 24 years old. Just like that, we got Brian Burns back. Brian Burns, Fletcher Cox, great piece that we need to bring back as well. Hopefully we can get him back 1-year deal. We were able to do that. No, we weren't. He was not interested. Casey Hayward is going to drop quite a bit, so I'll just wait until the end of the season. Miles Sanders is a great piece for us to bring back. He doesn't want that much money, so I'll happily give him the 32 that he's suggesting. And just like that, we were able to get Miles Sanders back. Hargrave, depending on how much he wants, I might bring him back. So if he wants a 1-year deal, I'll happily give him that. So Edwards, for the most part, that's pretty much it. Edwards, Casey Hayward, maybe. I know he's gonna digress quite a bit going into the next season, so we'll kind of just leave it at that for now. We still have quite a bit of money going into free agency this season, so hopefully we can make some big moves. So we'll simulate to the playoffs. Hopefully we can squeeze on by. Hopefully our team can pick up the pace like they did last year and we can make it to the playoffs. If they don't, then I will be more aggressive going into the the last year of this rebuild. And if we don't make the playoffs again, I'll probably go for a fourth season, depending on how we're doing. And we actually finished 4-13, so that is not good at all. We did absolutely horrible. So if I have to blow up the team right now, then I will. We'll just see. Yeah, offense didn't do anything. Didn't do anything at all. Our defense was subpar, but at the end of the day, you can only do so much if your offense isn't doing enough to pick up the slack. He's only a star, not what I want. So I might be aggressive and just try to sign a veteran quarterback and kind of go off of that. Defensively, I'm happy with my defense. I probably will try to go after some bigger pieces, but we'll see what happens. And we can go into the start of the offseason. So once again, everybody who's watching my video or is still here up to this point, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sticking around. Hope you're enjoying the videos. I'm trying my best to, make them better and to be more fluent with them. I feel like I am getting there, but it's obviously still going to take some time to get more comfortable with this. Anybody who's interested in a face reveal, please hit that subscribe button. And once I hit a certain mile point, I don't know which one yet, but once I feel comfortable enough or I have enough people following me or subscribe to me, I will happily do a face reveal and you guys can see my pretty face. So right now at this point, we can just simulate to the re-signing period right now. Hold on. Yeah, we'll just simulate to the re-signing period. I know there's only a few pieces that I needed to resign for the most part. So lucky for us we're not gonna really break the bank for the most part re-signing some of these players. Cox was a big piece, but he did digress quite a bit. He is an 85 overall. Hayward went to an 83. Edwards might be the only player I might be interested in bringing back. He doesn't want that much money, so I don't mind bringing him back on a decent deal if and we have him back. Everyone else I'm gonna let walk. I would love to bring Fletcher Cox back, but he just wants too much money. Hopefully I can re-sign him for less. Hayward also wants way too much money for what he is. He's at 33 years old. 85 speed isn't gonna really do it for us. So we can simulate into the first week and go off of that. I am gonna upgrade everybody. So right now we're at an 83 overall offense, or 83 overall team in general. Upgrading everybody, see if it makes a difference. And we're in 86 now, so it made a giant difference. So I'll just go into manage roster and see what pieces we need to bring in or what we can do to make our team better. So Kenny Parker is an 80 overall now, which is great to see. And everyone's kind of playing below their actual overall because of just morale, which is completely fine. We had a horrible season, don't blame them. But for the most part, everyone's still pretty good. And I just need to go into this offseason and just be aggressive. I need to find players that can help me right away and help us, even make it to the playoffs. So I really want to be able to do that. So let's start free agency off and see what we can do with $75 million. Tyreek Hill is actually a really tempting offer. Quarterback, we have Baker. I could go after Baker. but there's no point when I have Kenny Parker, who I can use to trade for a more established quarterback who can help me right away. In our last video, we got Tom Brady. So if anybody who watches my video, go watch it. We were able to get the GOAT. He helped us bring a Lombardi trophy back to Pittsburgh. Pretty happy to say that. So hopefully we can do that again this year. I don't feel like we need a running back. I'd rather spend the money elsewhere. I don't mind bringing in a receiver who can help right away and make us better instantly. So I'm tempted to go with... We'll go with Terry. Scary Terry is always a good option. I'd be willing to pay him this much. Offer slightly less. And right now we're number 1. So hopefully we can stay and keep that pace. Center is the only position that we would need, actually. And I would love to bring Kelsey back. Or Hudson. So let's try to get Kelsey. Let's try to bring him back home for one more year. Doesn't hurt. So hopefully he can come back home. And we can use that extra depth to, push us over the top with our offense at least. Right end, I'm fine. Defensive tackles are our biggest issue right now. And if I can bring them back on cheaper deals, I would love to bring back our tackles. If I can get them on a $7.6 million deal, I would love to bring them back. And I'll probably just be aggressive with trades to get everybody else. We were able to get a rookie who's a star now, Draymond, and we have Sweat, because I can always move Sweat inside, who can help us right away, which I wouldn't mind doing, to be honest. I feel like Calais Campbell would be a great defensive tackle as well. I might offer Sweat something. Let's offer just to see where we land. We're second. I would not mind offering slightly more. I'd be fine with that. 47.5. And we're not, so I'm just gonna take that off. I go with Calais Campbell, and I'm gonna offer him slightly less. Just he's 37 years old, but I feel like he'd be great up the middle. And I would be fine with that for the most part. I'm fine with our linebackers for the most part. Obviously, I would love someone better, but I can always use these players for trade bait. So we might be doing that, to be honest. I'm not really happy with any of these DBs, to be very honest with you. I'm fine with my safeties. I'm really happy with them, actually. So, let's just go into the second day of free agency and see where we land, and kind of determine whether or not I'm going to be super aggressive with our trades and our draft picks that we have. So we were able to get everyone, actually. We got Scary Terry, which is great. We stole him from the Redskins. Glad to hear we got Cox back. We got Kelsey coming back home, and we have Campbell. So I'll probably be moving him up the middle. So I'm pretty happy with that for the most part. But I would still love some better players. So with that being said, we have $31.2 million, and our receiving course is way better. I think the only thing we're really missing is a quarterback. Honestly, we can just take us over the top and put us in a better situation to win. If we had a longer rebuild, which I might do, depending on how we do, I might keep Kenny Parker just simply based off I really believe he could be better than what he's playing. So we'll just go over who's still here for the most part, and kind of go over if we need to sign or try to attempt to sign anybody else. But for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable with the people that we've signed so far and the pieces that I can move over. So I know corner is a big issue right now for us. I would love to have some shutdown corners besides Slay, because he is getting up there in age as well. So I'm gonna just end it with this. and we'll go into the draft. We should be actually picking pretty high in the draft, so that's the only beneficial thing of being 4-12, which sucks. But we'll see where we pick, and we can kind of go for that. If we can use that fourth pick to help get us an instant impact player, I will happily do that to, you know, put us in a position to even make the playoffs. Because so far at this rate, we're only getting worse than better. So technical difficulties, and we'll flash back to me being in the draft. And here we are. We're back. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but here we are. We're back in the draft. And just looking at the big board, quarterback isn't an issue right now. I don't feel like getting a rookie is going to help us any more than it did last year. I'm pretty comfortable with Parker right now with what we have. We don't need a running back. We don't need guard. The only other defensive player that's in like the top 10 for the most part is Justin Buckley. But with the fourth pick, if Cole Murray's still here, he's actually really tempting. I like his traits for the most part. And his speed, he's the fastest DN in this draft. So if he's here at the fourth pick, I'd probably just go with him. And if not, then I'd probably just trade and find someone who can just help us right away. So he is not here, and I'm really not interested in taking anyone else, to be very honest with you. So yeah, we'll skip to me finding a instant impact player. So I'll see you in a couple seconds. So I decided just to find a player who can help us right away. At the end of the day, our defensive backs have a big impact on how our defense is doing, and Maddox is a good player, but at the end of the day, Patrick Surtain, the second junior, is someone who can help us right away. He's an 87 overall. He's only like 23, and I'm only having to give up a second, third, and Maddox, which isn't a lot for me, especially since I know I still have my first. I can use that for maybe a bigger trade that can help us right away. So with this, we have Slay and Patrick Surtain, which I'm pretty happy with, but I'm going to try to find a couple of key more pieces that can help us dramatically. So I will be back in a second. So we're being super aggressive right now, and I feel like Marlon Humphrey is the best person for that job with what we have right now. So with Patrick Surtain, Marlon Humphrey, and Darius Slay running the slot now, I feel like our defensive backs are set now. And the only key pieces I think that we're missing at the very moment is a quarterback who can just step up right away and can really fill in the spot instead of Parker at the moment. So besides quarterback, I'd probably go after somebody on the line. But for the most part, we'll see what I can find. And if I find anything, then you'll see that as well. And with the last pick we're doing, we're going to trade Edwards, my fourth, and Cox for Deion Jones and Jared Garrett. For Jarrett, we can move him in the inside. He's only going to get better. He's a natural defensive tackle in a 4-3. So I was going to find anybody who's going to help me right away. And I couldn't get any quarterbacks. I couldn't find anybody who's going to be dramatically different than Parker. So depending on how well we do in the season, I'll probably just add a fourth season and leave it at that. So with this pick being sent through, I can show you guys the new lineup right now, and I'm really happy with it. Obviously, I wish we could have got a better quarterback, but I'm fine with rocking with Parker, and with the receivers that we have, I feel like we're gonna do way better. Our defense I feel like is way better. I'm gonna move in Garrett inside the middle with Calais Campbell, so that's only going to be better. We have Humphrey, Sertan, and we still have Slay in the slot, which I'm really comfortable with. We have Williams at free, Amos at the strong. Now we have Deion Jones up the middle with Wilson and Van Der Esch. So I just really believe this team can win right away. So I'll make the few adjustments, and I'll see you at the midpoint. And at the midseason point, we are 2-4 again. It's kind of disappointing with the team that we have. Was not expecting for us to be where we are now, especially with the team that we have. So let's just go based off of stats. Our offense is horrible. Like, we have the worst offense in football right now. I might switch up the playbooks and the schemes again to kind of hopefully we can make a big difference going to the second half of the season. And I'll honestly probably just run one quick fourth season. I haven't done that with the videos I've made so far, but hopefully it makes a difference. So I'll make these adjustments, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the playoffs. So simulating to the playoffs, and we actually made the playoffs. We were able to run it up, and that's great. Obviously, I wish we were still a better team. Simply, like, our roster doesn't reflect our record, which is kind of horrible. If the Vikings have an 82 overall team, they're 13-4. We're 9-8 with an 89 overall team. So some things just don't add up. Obviously, we do have a really young quarterback who I feel like might be holding us back, but I feel like if he progresses and continues to progress, he'll only be better. So depending on how well we do, I might go into a fourth season. So hopefully we can run away with so we went from the last offense to the 28th, which is great, and our defense got way better. So that's one positive thing. Kerry Parker, what can I say? He's a game manager at this point. Not what I would want from him. Devontae Smith, 1,000. Scary Terry almost had 1,000 as well. Michael Pittman had almost had 1,000. Dallas Gobbert is doing his thing, averaging 750 once again. Deion Jones led the team with tackles. Brian Burns had 13.5 sacks. Josh White with 8.5. Josh Logan with 6.5 from the backer position. Garrett had 5.5 from up the middle. Marlon Humphrey, I'm glad to see. He had 4 picks. Williams had 2. Deion Jones had 1. Patrick Sertan had 1 as well. And everyone else right there. Kickers, don't really care with that. But I'm glad they were able to pick it up going into the second half of the season. And I'm glad we at least made the playoffs. I didn't want to, flunk out or have a horrible video and at least not make the playoffs. I feel like we made plenty of moves to be in this position. Obviously, I would still want a better record, and the players we have don't reflect the record we have, but it is what it is. So we'll just simulate one game at a time, and hopefully the momentum we have can carry on into the playoffs. So the first week, we lost. We lost to the Vikings. That's great. We're gonna simulate to the off season, and I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one quick fourth season because I don't want to go out like that. I really don't, especially with the players that we had. So, what is it called? First, let's go into re-signing. I want to see what we need to re-sign, how much money we have, and see what we can do to get even better going into this last season for sure. Like I said, because I don't want to go into just making the playoffs once and getting bounced in the first round. So we'll see what we can do, and if we even have any money with the moves that I made, expecting to win the Super Bowl. So Deion Jones wants a lot of money. I might let Kelsey walk. That's a little bit too much that I'm willing to spend. And for the most part, it's just these 4. I'll bring Pittman back. Or no, I'll let him walk. No. He was a big part of our offense. You know, I'll bring him back. If I can get him on a 3-year deal, I'd be happy with that. He wants to test free agency. That's not good. But Smith wants a bag from... Damn, he wants a lot of money. Quite a bit of money. And we were able to get him back. And Deion Jones. I need to be able to hold on to these pieces with whatever I have left. And we were able to get him back. So we're going to let Kelsey walk. Pittman's going to walk. And everyone else is going to walk for the most part. So I'm glad we were able to get them back at least. And we should have quite a bit of upgrades as well. And quite a bit of people had upgrades, which is good to hear. Good to see, actually. So we'll just simulate this and see what our overall is now. So we're an 87 overall. So with everyone being upgraded, we currently have... What's Devontae Smith? Wait, what the heck? I'm hoping, hold on, give me 1 second. I need to see something really quickly. Okay, yeah, I was wondering where he was. He just wasn't there. I don't know why he wasn't there, but I'm fine with the receivers that we have right now. Let's go back into adjust lineup. Okay. We will go with the best lineup, generate best lineup. Okay, so right now we have Kerry Parker, still not what we need. He's an 84 overall quarterback, pretty good for the most part, but isn't... I mean, our defense is still really good. Like, our defense is great, and I cannot complain whatsoever about it. But I'm tempted to just go to a 3-4 and attempt to just get a linebacker in the draft and see what we can do from there, because we don't have enough money to really do anything or make a play in the off season, but you never know. So going to the last free agency, usually I end it here, but let's see what we can do with $6 million. We really can't do anything with it. Justin Herbert would be great. I'm surprised he wasn't signed. Michael Pittman's right there. We obviously weren't able to bring him back. Hayward, Higbee. Justin Herbert would have been great to add, to be honest. But we just do not have the money whatsoever to bring him on. I mean, it won't even let me. We can offer something. Isn't gonna, there's no point. There's simply no point. So we'll just go into the draft and see what we can do from there. What damage we can make there. And I just remember we traded all our pieces. We traded all the pieces expecting for this to be the last season, but it's not. So let's see what I can do though. I'm pretty sure I can do something still, because we're able to access our picks going to the following season. So maybe I can mess around and use that to my advantage and maybe get a quarterback who can make a difference right away. But we'll see right now. So once this is done, we'll cut back to the draft. So just looking over everything and seeing the draft, we have no capital. and we just don't have the money to make any trades right now. So I'll simulate to the start of the season. We will review our lineup and see whatever we can do to make some small tweaks to hopefully make a run in the playoffs this year. So this is the team we're gonna rock with going into the last season for us. Scary Terry, Devontae Smith, Kenny Parker, Miles Sanders. Our line still pretty good, honestly. We never got a center, which is completely fine. And our defense. I'm still happy with our defense. Honestly, it's still really good. Our DBs are amazing. Our D line is still great for the most part. We don't have a D tackle, D2, but I mean that's fine with me. Logan Wilson's gonna be a 90. Deion Jones still 90. Van Der Esch is Van Der Esch. He can hold down the fort, and so we're gonna just simulate to the mid-season point, and hopefully we can do something in the last season. So see you in a second. So at the mid-season point, we are 4-3, so better than before. We're second in the division behind the Cowboys, who are 6-0. Kind of difficult when they just want to run up the whole division. And once again, the Steelers are an 83 overall, or 6-1. We have an 86 overall, and we're only 4-3. So sometimes those other little intangibles I can't really mess with, but I mean, at the end of the day, I did everything I could to like put this team in a situation to win. Our offense is way better than it was before. The first other seasons were 12th and 16th, better than what we were way before. So Parker's playing way better, and I just wanted to see that, just to see how he was doing. I'm tempted to just upgrade the players right now. If we have a couple, we should have a couple. Does Parker have some? There's one. I'm just gonna upgrade him. Any little bit can help the team right away, honestly. So we're in 86 still, so we'll just simulate to the playoffs and hopefully we'll be there. So if we don't make it to the playoffs, then we'll just end the video there. So hopefully I see you guys in the first round of the playoffs. And so that's gonna be it. I tried my very best winning with this team, and I just couldn't do it. Even with all the moves that I did make and all the pieces I brought in, it was not enough. So with my last season, Parker threw for 4,300 yards, 33 touchdowns, 12 picks. He had a good season. Like, don't get me wrong. He's gonna end the year with as an 87 overall, but it wasn't enough. Sanders had 1,100 yards, and he had 13 touchdowns. He had a great season as well. Scary Terry had 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Devontae Smith almost had 1,000 yards again, 5 touchdowns. Dallas Gobert, 705 once again, Mr. Reliable in that end. And Van Der Esch actually led the team in tackles for once. And sacks. Logan Wilson actually had led our team in sacks. Brian Burns had 8, and we just didn't get any pass rush. Adrian Amos had 4, and that's pretty much it. I just want to check out the team. Our team was 25th, so they dropped dramatically. But I guess I can show everybody the team that I rocked with, hopefully. So let's see it. I mean, I think this team's really good, honestly. I mean, obviously we're missing pieces because they're gone. Like Lane Johnson was the only piece that we're missing right here, but he was like a 90 overall. But besides that, we have a great team, honestly. We have a 99 overall. Devontae Smith is an 89 now. 88 overall, 87. Our line is great as well. Our defense is amazing. Brian Burns is probably injured or just gone. Let me just generate the best lineup. I have no idea where he is, but he's not there. That's completely fine. It is what it is. but this is the team, and we did everything we could to be put in the situation to win. And my apologies to any Eagles fans who expected to win a Super Bowl. Didn't happen. And hopefully there's not a lot of videos where this does happen. So I appreciate everybody who's watching. I hope you guys continue to watch. It would be really appreciated if anybody would leave a like on my video. Please comment as well if you have any suggestions or any comments or any ideas for me to do. I'll happily do it. I'll take any criticism or constructive criticism happily. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay blessed, be positive, and I'll see you guys later.